In a time when the world was full of mysteries and challenges, Anna dreamed of a place that promised answers and riches, the legendary Treasure Mountain. But getting there is not easy. It is full of puzzles, dangers, and decisions that will test not only Anna's courage, but also her knowledge and wisdom. Today we take you on Anna's epic journey to the Treasure Mountain. A journey that is not only an adventure, but also a metaphor for our own financial challenges. Are you ready to discover the secret of the Treasure Mountain and the 7 stages to overcome? Anna has worked hard all her life, every day, from morning till night. But despite all her efforts, at the end of the day, there is hardly anything left. Her savings, painstakingly accumulated over the years, have been wiped out time and again by financial crises. And the rest, it was often spent on everyday consumption and fleeting pleasures that brought only short-term happiness. In the quiet moments when darkness falls, Anna sits in her hut and dreams. She dreams of a better life, a place where her work will bear fruit, the Treasure Mountain. It symbolizes her desire to break the cycle of endless work and consumption and to finally be independent of the arbitrariness of the economy. And so, one evening, with a burning desire in her heart, Anna decides to take her destiny into her own hands and sets off on her journey.
Just like Anna, we need to take the first step and decide to take control of our financial future.
Like many of us, Anna has fears and doubts. The stories she has heard all her life about the Treasure Mountain echo in her head. It is said to be unattainable, and whoever reaches it will be forever tainted. But on her way, Anna meets a wise old traveler who knows about the Treasure Mountain. The traveler begins to tell Anna about the many travelers who have come before her, and whose journeys have been cut short by their own limiting beliefs. He stresses the importance of letting go of limiting beliefs and instead learning the rules of the Treasure Mountain and the dangers it holds. He then helps her to create a plan so that she doesn't easily lose her way or get lost in the many forks of the Treasure Mountain.
Just as Anna had to learn on her journey, there are real life lessons we need to take to heart when it comes to our money. First, let go of negative beliefs. Just as Anna had to overcome her fears and doubts, so too do we have to free ourselves from our limiting beliefs about money that hold us back from achieving our goals. I once had this with my neighbor. Every week, a new sports car would pull into our communal car park, and his wife would come in and out with all sorts of luxury items. Instead of sincerely asking him how he managed all this, I just saw him as a criminal. However, as I later discovered by chance, he actually owned 64 apartments, his own business, and a factory, and was simply a very ambitious person who had his sights set on financial freedom. Second, exposure to different asset classes. Just as Anna learned about the different paths and routes of the Treasure Mountain, we need to understand the different ways we can invest our money. Instead, many people are still hoping for the big lottery win. They fill out a new lottery ticket every week, hoping to hit the jackpot this time. Statistically, however, the chance of winning the big lottery prize is only 1 in 140 million. You are much more likely to be struck by lightning or hit by a slot machine. Third, make an investment plan. Just as Anna needed a clear map and route for her journey, we need a clear plan for our financial goals. This includes your circumstances, your profit goals, your risk tolerance, and your time horizon. We need to continually review whether the plan we have created still meets our goals and needs, as fees can eat away at your investment. Finally, you need to find the right investment advisor. Just as Anna had the wise traveler to guide her, we need experts to guide us on our financial journey.
Anna faces another key challenge on her journey. Ahead of her lies a huge river that she must cross in order to move forward. There is a simple raft on the bank, but it is immediately clear that it will not be able to carry the full weight of Anna's supplies and equipment. So in order to keep going, she has to decide exactly how many supplies to take with her and how much to leave behind.
We often face similar choices in our lives. How much of the money we earn do we spend, and how much do we invest for future needs? In his book, Tony Robbins emphasizes the importance of consciously deciding how much money we really need for our personal happiness and how much we should save and invest as a result. He distinguishes between financial security, vitality, independence, freedom, and absolute freedom. But how do you find out how much your dreams cost? Let's do an exercise using the example of the lowest need for financial security. Why don't you estimate how much money you need for your financial security if you have an average life expectancy of 80 years? On average, most 20 to 30-year-olds think they need around $3 million for financial security. That's a lot of money, isn't it? To find out how much you really need, make a note of your monthly expenses and how much they cost. Add them up and multiply by 12 to get your annual expenditure. If you multiply this sum by the number of years you have left until you are 80, you will get the approximate amount you would actually need for your personal financial security. Let's guess. It's less than 3 million, but actually more than 1 million, right? We at 1 in a million were also surprised to find that we would only need about 1.5 million for the rest of our lives. With just under 40 years until retirement, that would be around 3,300 a month. Doesn't sound like much, does it? But what if, as in our case, you don't even need 1.5 million, but only 680,000 to get 3,300 every month for the remaining 40 years? Here is an example of how this can work. If you put 330 euros every month into a special fund that replicates the movements of the market, called an index fund, and it has an expected annual return of 6%, then after 40 years, you would have 680,000. The interesting thing is that there have been funds in the past that have grown by more than 6%. For example, a well-known fund called S&P 500 has grown by an average of 10% a year over the last 20 years. So it's not just about surviving today, it's about providing for the future. Anna doesn't just have to think about crossing the river, she has to think about what comes after. In the same way, we need to think about how our financial decisions today will affect our lives tomorrow.
As Anna continues on her way, a huge gorge suddenly and unexpectedly opens up in front of her, blocking her path. An old crumbling footbridge presents itself as an option, but it doesn't seem strong enough to get her across safely. Rather than give up in discouragement, Anna decides to rise to the challenge. She gathers stones, wood, and rope that she finds, With a lot of creativity and determination, she starts to strengthen the old footbridge and build a safer one. After days of hard work, and with the constant threat of falling into the depths, she manages to build a strong bridge that takes her safely across the gorge.
In our financial lives, we often face seemingly insurmountable obstacles, whether it is an unexpected financial shortfall, high levels of debt, or the feeling of not being able to save enough for the future. But as Anna's journey shows, there are always ways to overcome these challenges with creativity and determination. In his book, Tony Robbins emphasizes this ability to find creative solutions, cut costs, and generate more income, even when it feels like you have nothing left. Whether it's finding other sources of income so you don't have to rely on just one, or learning the art of negotiation, we all have the potential to overcome financial barriers just like Anna, if we're willing to put in the work and creativity.
Having successfully crossed the gorge, Anna comes across a bustling marketplace in a small oasis in the middle of the valley. Traders from all over the country are displaying their most valuable tools, from shiny shovels to sturdy ropes and compasses. Anna knows she must be prepared for more obstacles on her journey. She pauses and thinks, which of these tools will really help me? Which combination will best equip me for the challenges ahead? With deliberation and strategic thinking, Anna selects a number of tools that could be useful to her in different ways, and that will support her in all possible scenarios.
In the same way that Anna consciously thinks about her future and equips herself with a variety of tools, it makes sense for us to create an income plan for life. In the financial world, this means having a balanced and diversified investment portfolio that is aligned with our goals and risk appetite, while taking advantage of different market conditions and minimizing risk. What might this look like? Here is an example. Imagine you have 3 wells in front of you. Each well has its own purpose and its own source. This is the safety well. It is solid, conservative, and stable. The water flowing into it symbolizes safe investments such as savings accounts, bonds, or fixed interest securities. It may not flow as fast as the other wells, but it offers you security. This is the growth well. As you can see, the water here is more unpredictable. There can be big splashes symbolizing high returns, but it can also be quiet at times. This fountain represents riskier investments such as shares, property, or commodities. Finally, the dream fountain. This fountain is fed by surpluses from the other 2. It represents your dreams and goals, whether it is traveling the world, buying a house, or educating your children. Together, these 3 wells help you live a balanced financial life, where you can provide security, strive for growth, and save for your dreams. However, the percentage allocation of investments depends heavily on individual factors such as your risk tolerance and financial goals. It's all about finding the right balance for you to navigate through life safely and successfully.
As Anna continues to stroll around the market, she notices 3 luxurious tents that stand out from the crowd. They belong to the richest merchants in town, each known for their unique knowledge and skills in dealing in rare and valuable goods. Plucking up courage, Anna heads for the first tent. The first merchant she meets specializes in rare gems. He explains how he learnt to dig deep to find the rarest gems and shares the secret of always being careful to minimize risk. It's not just the search for the glitter, it's the art of recognizing the most valuable things beneath the surface and knowing how to extract them safely. Anna moves on to the second dealer, known for his impressive collection of antiques. He talks about the importance of diversification and how he always invests in different eras and cultures to protect his wealth. As one era falls, another rises. By investing in different times and places, I protect my wealth from the unpredictability of the future. Finally, Anna meets the third merchant, an expert in exotic spices. He tells Anna about the importance of timing, of knowing when to buy and when to sell. You have to be able to smell the wind before it blows, he says, emphasizing the importance of risk management and intuition.
So did you recognize the three traders? Their wisdom and strategies are not fables from another world. In fact, they reflect the principles of three of the greatest investors of our time. Warren Buffett, one of the most famous and successful investors of all time, he is the living example of the value investing approach. Instead of following the fast-moving trends of the market, he favors long-term investments in companies that he believes are undervalued but have great growth potential. Buffett is not someone who relies on gut instinct or rumors. His investment decisions are always based on solid data and facts, often after a thorough analysis of a company's financials and business model. He believes in investing in a company's true value proposition rather than short-term market sentiment. This disciplined approach has brought him unprecedented success over the years and made him one of the richest people in the world. Ray Dalio. As founder of Bridgewater Associates, one of the world's largest hedge funds, Ray Dalio has developed a unique and innovative investment approach known as the all-weather portfolio. Rather than focusing on a single type of asset or industry, Dalio's approach relies on a clever combination of assets. The aim is to create a portfolio that generates a relatively stable and positive return throughout the economic cycle. This approach minimizes risk and is designed to perform under different market conditions and economic scenarios. Dalio's all-weather strategy has brought him and his fund impressive success and is a shining example of how thoughtful diversification can lead to sustainable wealth. Paul Tudor Jones. One of the outstanding hedge fund managers of his generation, Paul Tudor Jones has made a name for himself with a particular approach: the mental map model. This model seeks to exploit recognizable patterns in the market, particularly those that indicate whether fear or greed is the dominant emotion among investors. In an industry where quick and often emotional decisions are commonplace, Jones keeps a clear head. He recognizes the sentiments and trends that move the market and relies consistently on rational, data-driven analysis. His approach, which takes into account the psychological aspects of the market, has made him one of the most successful investors of his generation. The insights and advice of these three traders, and the real investors they represent, can help us make better financial decisions and find our own path to wealth.
Having implemented all of the traders' advice and strategies, Anna finally reaches the top of the treasure mountain. As well as the many treasures, she finds a quiet spot with a breathtaking view. She sits down and enjoys the moment, the view of the vast landscape, and feels a deep sense of gratitude. Anna decides to return to her village and share the treasure. When she reaches the village, the joy and gratitude of the villagers fills Anna's heart with a deep satisfaction no material treasure could ever offer.
In the end, Tony Robbins emphasizes the importance of sharing and giving back. It is not just the accumulation of wealth that counts, but what we do with it that gives meaning to our lives. In our own journey, we should not only seek material wealth, but also strive to leave an indelible mark on our hearts and the hearts of those we touch. If you enjoyed Anna's journey and the hidden treasures of the world of finance, then dive deeper and join us on another journey of discovery on our channel. Click here to join our community of knowledge seekers.